Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Karaoke Andi here, and we're trading today to gather the EU stock indices on an FOMC day. Today is the 29th of July 2026, and this is the disclaimer. This is no financial advice. Trading involves risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own research before trading. This stream and its recording is for educational purposes only. This stream is covered by the stipulations set out on the website tradertom.com, tradertom.com/disclaimer. All right? So, good morning. DAX will open in 4 minutes, and we are trading near the closing price of yesterday. So if you were to open now, that would be a neutral open. Can't really call that a gap up or a gap down. You see that I marked down here the previous session high, coming in at 25,556 roughly. I draw that by hand on a higher time frame, so it might be a point or two off, but roughly previous session low 25,304, and the DAX closes at 1730, right? So everything between yesterday's close and today's open, I call that overnight, that has a high and a low. The high comes in at 25,613 up here, and the low, so we previously traded below yesterday's session low. That was 25,272.8. So if you look at, we are inside basically a sideways movement, and that expanded here a little bit, failed breakout here, and there's still a drawing stuck. No worries. So it's not a wick here, this is something else, right? And tried to break out here, didn't happen. Tonight is the FOMC rate decision and press conference, and might as well encounter a market in a waiting mode. In preparation, I sent you a couple of slides. There are many more examples, but FOMC doesn't happen every week, right? So that's why the examples get very fast, very old. Then suddenly you're in 2023, and then you're suddenly in 2018. And I took some more recent examples where we are inside. Okay, now my little bubbles are off, and I want to trade the espresso with you. Okay. Maybe let's do that right now. Okay. So 18 points. Okay. Using an 18 points offset. So there they are. There we go. Have to adjust the long order. Okay, fuck. Ooh, got filled prematurely. taking profit here. So that was all very fast. No open orders. So that was violent. Didn't expect that. So we're testing here. Don't know where my drawings went. We're shooting up to previous session high. Which is important point of interest. It's marked down here. Don't know, the label is gone, but the line is still somewhat correct. So that's why I was eager to take profit in that area, because that is resistance. So could today be a trend day? From what I have looked at briefly in the morning, and I shared a couple of slides with you, where we were opening inside the previous day's session range, high and low. And I looked at the 15-minute chart, and you can see here the first 15-minute bar. Here's the second. That's the signal bar for the school run. School run lines are in there. And let's put it like this. Also, we only have a tiny gap, so we're almost opening here neutral. Those examples were not encouraging. Yeah. So if anything, might want to trade the anti, which is just really, in this case, a scenario where you see that. Also, no real big gaps, rarely on an FOMC day, so it seems. Yeah. Okay, we actually, my assumption is today is going to be rather a range-bound day, and we will see a lot of chop. Looking at this first 5-minute bar, just touched the previous session high, right? Good. Always have to trade the market right in front of us. Historic examples, they can give us guidance. But yeah, it's pretty much double topped here. If you ignore everything overnight, right? Just looking at cash sessions, double topping here. I've found resistance, so sellers stepping in right now. Or there's some profit taking going on. So now the age-old question, is that a pullback or do we see continuation? Again, we need to trade the market right in front of us. So basically the 2 hours before the open, 2 hours and 15 minutes, this bar here set in motion. Uptrend. Here was the cash open, and so far looks bullish. So FTSE shot up too. Also running into resistance here. First bar positive. FTSE, however, in a clear gap up situation. Oh, on a higher time frame. I think that must have been the all-time high. FTSE is attacking that right now. So it's really not far away. So it's the question now, what will happen? Will we double top here? Or will we make new all-time highs? There's so many lines. Okay, let's maybe delete those lines. Okay. How do I get this off? Ah, okay. So the high comes in at 938. No, that can't be, right? High is 938. And I put the line is... Okay. Close enough, I guess. So basically above their all-time high area. Should we double top there? Or shall we choose to sell the double top? I don't know. And come back down here. Then the first bar positive would issue a sell signal below the first 5-minute bar. Don't know why my numbers are off. Ah, okay, for this reason. Good. So that is touched. Yeah, never sell an all-time high, right? I'm holding off on that. So unless we come down here. If anything, we should be bullish the FTSE. But I'm not a big expert in the FTSE, and and the FTSE has the uncanny ability to always make a move and retrace, make a move and retrace. That's why those first bar negative, first bar positive signals work so well. Okay. So 1 minute chart, you can see here was the touch, previous session high. Retraced. Now we're making a second touch. And yesterday I briefly spoke about the significance of a second touch. This is an important level. And DAX reacted to it. But just by a mere, I don't know, what is that? 25 plus a couple points. So now second touch. And now maybe that pullback is already over and we see continuation. So also remember that here on the, you can see on the daily is a little bit too much, but on the hourly, you can see that we have been for the past 2 days in a sideways movement in a tight trading range. So we try to expand in both directions. Didn't happen. Traded back into the range. We opened up here in the, say, in the upper half. The midpoint rather comes in around here. Opened up in the upper half. Now let's see if bulls make an attempt to break higher on an FOMC day, where I personally would expect not so much action, to be honest. Okay, up there, coming back down. It's the question, fake out, or can you call that a fake out, or is it just a higher high double top? It's just a couple points, right? Well, 10 points nonetheless. So my plan is, unless I see really signs of very bullish activity, my plan is to treat carefully in this session. I'm expecting rather chop. Yeah. There's easy days to make money, and then there's days where need to survive. And we got a nice buffer here with the espresso. Didn't have time to adjust the orders properly, so that's why I got filled probably already earlier here. But hey, it's what it is. It can go both ways. So not unhappy about that. Now FTSE coming down. Is this shit? So okay. Yeah, overnight low. Let's make this yellow. That clearly here, where we're trading right now, is overnight high. We find, does it turn into support now? Remember, old resistance can become support. That seems to be previous session high. You see we're on a 15-minute chart, 1750 to 1730. I believe the FTSE closes at 1730. Oh, and that would be the low. So okay, I took purple here for session high and low, gray for overnight high and low, and what we looked at the daily chart, that over here, and above that all-time high territory, that is a yellow. Yeah. So Trade Nation charts updating very fast. There we go. Significant double top. If it turns out to be one, so far looks like it. Still have down here the opportunity to sell on the first bar positive. Just not ready to commit to anything yet. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it can go up, down, and sideways also. That also was a previous session high and the previous session high. That we reacted to here in the DAX. And there you see the shit already happening. Yeah. First 15-minute bar is a bull bar. The second 15-minute bar is starting to form, guess what, inside the first 15-minute bar. Choppy chop chop. So my trading range bias so far confirmed, but if we are only 18 minutes in. Also the overnight range box, which is basically everything from, I don't know, midnight till 8 or so. On Tom's chart, that's what he encloses there. It's equivalent to my overnight high and low, because the high and low happened after midnight. So also we didn't manage to close below, if you can see that. But now we're heading lower. It's not like, I mean, yeah, 2 consecutive bear bars. But this one is rather small. It's a small body. It didn't close below the previous bar. Does that mean anything? It just means sellers are not ready to fully commit yet. Of course. If there's continuation, then that looks very differently. There we go. 15-minute chart. Guys, should my bias be confirmed here, and this will be a choppy chop day, I don't want to waste your time and mine. Let's do the questions right now. Keep an eye on the DAX. I'm probably holding off on the FTSE. Don't know what to make of it. If it was any other day, I would probably sell short the FTSE on a double top. When I have some confirmation, that means maybe close or two below, maybe on a 10-minute time frame. Because it's on the daily chart. Or on a fishing signal, you know, if we close below the bar that made that new high. I would probably do that. Okay, so your questions, ladies and gentlemen. So, Peter. Hi, Andy. I have been trading for an embarrassingly long time now, and overall I'm slightly profitable, but it doesn't exactly pay the bills. It seems to be in a cycle of make profit, increase stake, lose it all, and a bit more, decrease stake, repeat. I don't think it's just I trade badly after a stake increase, although that is definitely part of it. It seems that I increased my stakes towards the end of a winning streak, so there's an inevitable losing period at a higher stake that seems to decimate my account. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel, or should I just shoot myself in the head immediately? I'd just like to know if this was an experience you have been through, and if so, how you dealt with it. Thanks, Peter. Oh, Peter. First of all, I'm feeling you. Please don't shoot yourself. Not in the foot, not in the head, not at all. You're trading for a long time. You're overall slightly profitable. So that means one thing, that means you're not losing money anymore, right? So when you're not losing money anymore, you are already very well ahead of the curve and very close to actually making it, right? It's actually what Larry Pesavento once told me. I met him at that Trader Tom symposium in 22, talked to him, and at that point I was like, I'm just a break-even trader, and he was like, hey Andy, if you're a break-even trader, you're very close. And it's good that he said that, and maybe it's also good that somebody says that to you. So why does size have an impact? on our trading, because look, out there in social media, there's so much nonsense. They're all talking about stacking and compounding. Yeah, it just doesn't work like that. You know, I had a career before I started day trading in 2020. And I was also self-employed as a consultant, managed projects, got paid very well. So I had some cash, so and I put it in a trading account. 100 lots, I think it was the Dow, pulled the trigger, and on my very first trade, I lost 16,000 euros, right? So, took me a while to figure out that size must be earned, because size is an amplifier. What does it amplify? It amplifies all those emotions, all those detrimental behaviors that we're trying to fight to get rid of, you know, those things that are detrimental to our success as traders. Yeah? We managed to get rid of them at one lot, and they come back hard, maybe already at 2 lots, you know, for some at 10 lots. So higher size must be earned, and yeah, there's a good old Murphy's law, right? That the toast always lands on the buttered side, right? And maybe the losing streak comes inevitably after you increase lot size. I would say increase more gradually than you might think, not just double it or whatever. Just be mindful of what that it's an amplifier, right? All that stuff that you worked so hard to keep in check, they come back, and they come back with force, right? So we have to build tolerance, right? You can't, if you are 200 kilos and want to work out, you can't just go to the gym every day and work out for 2 hours. Yeah, your heart can't take it. You would probably die, you know. So maybe just walk to the gym, maybe just do 5 minutes of exercise, you know, just slowly get started. So what do I mean by that? If you're a 10 lot trader, maybe don't increase to 20, maybe increase to 11, yeah, or to 10.5. That makes sense. Phew. Still not a close below. Yeah. Hope that helps, Peter. You got this. You got this, brother. So Robert Taylor says, will you trade FOMC later? Yeah, well, Robert, here's the thing. I trade with you today 2 sessions, so that's already 4 hours that I commit to you guys. And I think tonight I want to do, you know, it's also, I have an agreement with my wife, you know, I have a wife and a kid. Usually Wednesdays is my day, you know, where I have an evening off. So my usual Wednesday program is I go first to the cigar lounge and then to karaoke. Now, I might take my my laptop to the cigar lounge and trade the FOMC, but streaming from a laptop out of a cigar lounge feels a little unprofessional, if you know what I mean. So there we go. The school run is an absolute inside bar. Don't worry about that tiny little bit of wick there. Textbook inside bar would be up until the same level here. I just poked out a tiny little bit. So no. guys, I'm staying out. Let's do a couple questions and maybe a smaller session today. So, Yerji, good morning. James, that was a quick espresso. Yeah, that was quick. So those, if you mark those areas of interest, the open can be very violent. So that's to get an idea where to get in and out. So there is Alexander. Good morning, Andy. I don't know if it will work for everyone, but as many people, I was lacking discipline, especially when losing. To have the control of trading and emotions is obligatory to have control of every other aspect of your life. Thus, I created an Excel where I do a checklist with everything during my day. Okay. Can I send it to you so other people can benefit from it? I use Gemini for that. Tell the people to use those tools because they help a lot. By the way, it is in Spanish. By the way, I took the double top on the UK and German indices. Great trades already closed. Brother, if you trade a double top on the daily chart, you shouldn't close that right now. There's and where is it on the I don't see it on the German index, so I don't know what you double top there. But if you look where that market came from, you should, your first target should be maybe here, second target there, third target somewhere down here, right? Well, just don't short the stock index on the daily and then get out after +10. That doesn't make much sense. So anyway, a Gemini list that you created in Spanish, I don't know what's the benefit of that to others, that's tailored to your specific needs and life. Look, I'm almost 50 years old. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I can assure you that my life as a family man looks much different from the life that I had when I was 20 and zero obligations. So, and discipline, I have a very specific outlook on that. Discipline only is a necessity, yes. You need to be disciplined. But if discipline would take care of everything, every gym bro would be rich, right? So I go to the gym more or less every working day. Today I will train shoulders. And there's some ladies and gentlemen that come there regularly, absolutely in great shape. You can see they have great discipline and keeping a specific diet and working out regularly. But not all of them. And this, I don't look down on anybody. It's not what I'm trying to convey here. To be successful in trading, you need a hell of a lot more. It's just a basic requirement to have some discipline, yeah? To show up every day and to do your preparation, to stay in good shape. Be mindful what you put in your body. But checklists, usually, we make rules. All of us have done that. Oh, we lost and it's all shit, and then we start over again, and then we open a PowerPoint or whatever, or a large language model of your choice, and then we're like, now I will make some rules for trading, right? And now I will adhere to those rules. And then you write down, after 3 consecutive losses, I will stop trading for the day. and whatever you write there, yeah, and then you end up breaking it anyway. And that's not a discipline problem. That is a totally different problem. That is your reptile brain. And your reptile brain basically sits right at the neocortex, and your reptile brain is just faster with the fight or flight response than your rational faculties, right? So, because if you look a saber-toothed tiger in the eye 100,000 years ago, would you really want your rational brain to take over? Oh, that looks almost like a pussycat, doesn't it? What a nice fur. Oh, those tooths are long. I wonder if I'm, if you would have all those thoughts, you would be dead, right? So, you need a split-second decision, be flooded with adrenaline, and fight that thing to the death, or run, or freeze. If you don't know what else to do, maybe it leaves you alone. Play dead. Right? So, you need to keep that reptile brain in check to be successful. Because all your checklists and all your protocols and all your post-its and rules and whatever, you will break them anyway unless you tackle that. And the success is in the work that you are avoiding. Yeah? So, if you don't mind, Alexander, thanks for your checklist generated with Gemini and in Spanish. I'm not sure if that's something that's tailored specifically to you, is of much use to others. You guys can tell me if you want, but I have the feeling might not be. Not so much value. So, but good that you have checklists, good that you have a process, brother. Travis, wow, Trade Nation didn't even trigger my buy order. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sam, there's no sound from your Telegram. Is now sound on my Telegram? Because I swear to God, I switch on sound on Telegram. I have to unmute myself when I start a streaming session on Telegram, and then it's then it sometimes switches itself off. So, good. DAX is looking very bullish, but I think we could see a double top short again. And that is from Felix, and he said that at 12 minutes past 9. Yeah, but there's also FOMC later, and historic examples have shown a lot of chop. Also the FTSE, you see the 7 closed below barely closed below 6, but definitely closed below 4 and 3. But now we get this bull bar. There was a little bit of reaction to that level, but we made technically an all-time high, if I see that correctly, right? On the second 5-minute bar. So don't want to just short. Usually, if I short a double top, I'm not afraid to do that. I just do that without any confirmation, just when it hits that level, and hope for the best, right? So because if I'm right, I get a lot more points than if I wait for confirmation or whatever. But today, expecting chop. We made an all-time high. Do I really want to bet on a direction? So if anything, that was a normal day, I would never short an all-time high unless I get some serious confirmation. So if you're familiar with Tom's fishing technique, so you would look on a 10-minute or 15-minute chart. So yeah, so this is a higher high double top, right? So this is, for example, on a 15-minute chart, this is the bar that made that new high. So only if we see a bar that closes below the bar that made that new high, then we would sell short on close of that bar, right? Stop loss above here. So that would be something that I would consider. Oh, but we definitely have a second touch now. Maybe can, with half size, maybe buy the FTSE here. Buying the FTSE here. But I don't have much conviction, right? So that's why I buy the FTSE in half size. On a second touch, what if we just established a trading range and I was I should sell short here, right? And buy down here. Anyway, so more questions. So we have some position on. Do I really have read that correctly? So let's look at the weekly chart, monthly chart. Yeah, no. $938.3. Yeah. We're in all-time highs. So in the FTSE. Nothing wrong with buying that. Even on an FOMC date. It's worth a shot, right? Safety first. Andy! 3 exclamation marks. Hope your day is going great. Yeah, so far, you know, I didn't sleep much, brother. I had 2 coffees, 2 double espressos, 2 double espressos and an espresso. Just want to let you know that we appreciate the fact that you have a live video of you running during the trading session. It is awesome to see the face go red in all its German glory when you channel your passion for some of the questions asked. It's not going red. That's just the webcam. What I would like to know is, why does Tom not show his face? It would add certainly je ne sais quoi to the session. A certain je ne sais quoi to the session. Yeah, that was a shitty idea, was that, right? To sell the FTSE, to buy the FTSE. Is it unfair for him to hide that bold perfection and vein popping action when his brain gets going, not making any demands? Just curious. You have to ask Tom. Look, this is his channel. Is his audience is probably used to do it that way. I don't know. Uh, I I probably, I did a little bit of streaming for my own humble social media followership in the past on the X platform, and I was always doing it like this. So I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just doing what I've done before. The FTSE is in a trading range that okay. We tried. So if you get lucky, we will maybe find support here. But this there you go. Okay, can't blame myself for trying. So, Mark, hi Andy, which setting do I change to show the trades entry exits on the chart? Hey Mark, can you figure that out for yourself? I'm really, I believe you are perfectly capable of doing that. Look, usually in any software, this little gear here might do the trick, or this little gear here might do the trick. Settings, or this little dollar sign might do the trick. Who knows? Maybe you can read the manual. Here's the manual. Yeah. Right. Why are you guys so lazy? I don't understand. Why do you think I give you support? Like, not even. It's not like you really have a technical problem or don't get something to work. Let's try something here. When you ask me a question, I will ask you back, what have you tried so far? And if you're just asking me out of convenience, right? Like Andy will take care of that. That's not a fair use of my time, because I would also have then to check. I believe, yeah, you have to click here, right? And then you have to switch that on and that on. But you probably also need to enable that module here, enable transaction history, right? So I would have to click around here and then type that up for you when there is literally a manual that you can read. Mark. So hopefully you get my point in a way that it was meant. Yeah. And the point being, don't be lazy. Read the manual. So, sorry, mate. I don't want to be rude. I just want to get a little bit of discipline here in the people. I would be, if you regard, I'm nowhere near as good a trader as Tom. I don't have nowhere near that reputation or whatever. But if you want to learn something from me, yeah, then guess what? I require that you don't delegate stuff to me that you can figure out for yourself, which is just one Google search away, or checking a manual or something like that, because in those markets you have to yourself, right? You're on your own, and that will do you good. So, John, Tom said 30 trades, double your size. I do 30 trades and 20% increase gives time for it to work and doesn't wipe you out. Might help. John, if we have to give a little bit of context, what you are referring to. So was probably to the gentleman who after he sizes up always runs into a losing streak. And I already talked a little bit about size being an amplifier and all that. So what you are referring to is, let's give proper credit to Mark Douglas, because he came up with that 20 trades exercise. The 20 trades exercise was not designed to size up, but you certainly could tweak it in a way, right? But the 20 trades exercise of Mark Douglas is more like there is behaviors in trading that are useful, and there are behaviors in trading that are not so useful, right? So, and the 20 trades exercise of Mark Douglas is purposefully done in very small size. Yeah, you put some money on the line, you need to, so it is real and it feels real. But before you do that exercise, you write it off, right? Like 20 times your stop loss value, whatever that is, $400 or whatever, you write that off as an investment in your trading education, right? So, and then you do that exercise, you take those, when that setup comes and you have to find something that is purely mechanical, it's about behavior tweaking, right? So you take that next trade without fear or hesitation, and then it's either take profit or stop loss, or however you define it, right? Very mechanical. So, and the idea is that you override bad behavior with good behavior, yeah? So, that you just take the next trade without fear or hesitation. Usually the exits are hard, and especially if you have discretionary exits that, like with the school run, doesn't come with exit rules, then that is hard. So you might tweak that with a size increase. The problem is that 20, 30 trades, you might lose during that time, and then you lose with higher size, and that hurts, right? So not sure if that is a really good idea. I would rather recommend, but that's just you do whatever works for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying that I know it all, I figured it out. I would just say build tolerance for a higher size, earn that higher size by slowly increasing it. So, but thanks, John. You know what? Maybe it might even help for someone if you set it up correctly. Ooh, Peter says, hi Andy, I've been trading for an embarrassing, that's you, okay. Yes, Andy, thanks, love that you've joined the channel, thank you very much. Okay. Jail. Good day to you, Andy. From your own experience of using Trade Nation, how fast do they process your withdrawal requests? Since you told us you withdraw the funds to pay bills, so you must have done it quite a lot. Thank you for answering. What's that question? And even if I don't pay my bills with that, I probably have withdrawn. You know, I'm over 6 years with Trade Nation or TD365 before, but that belongs to Trade Nation. Was a brand of Trade Nation. Yeah. Depends how you fund your account. If you use bank transfer or if you use credit card or Skrill or whatever, you always receive the money through the way that you funded your account with, right? So if you put money there via bank transfer, and you get it back via bank transfer. If you put it there via credit card, you get it credited back It's always the same payment way. I don't know, business day. Also, don't forget, I'm not in the UK, I'm in the Czech Republic. That might also play a role. One business day, usually. So, Sören. Hi Andy, I have an issue with my glasses because after the first half an hour of trading, I start to see things. Only trading the first half hour after market open is an overall profitable for me. But if one session is a losing session, then I start seeing patterns, doing trades that eliminate my previous profits. Interesting. So, a couple of things going on here, right? So you might have developed a sense for the first 30 minutes, and you can say that it's a lot happening after the first within the first 30 minutes after the open, right? That can be, of course, you can specialize in the trading the first 30 minutes and learn all the intricacies and do your research around that. Or there can also be an issue here. I don't know. Maybe you're good with when there is some to catch a quick move, something like that. And then when it slows down, you're getting impatient. You're taking trades out of boredom. I don't know what you're seeing there. Are those things that you are seeing good reasons to enter the markets? Do you put a reasonable stop loss there based on structure, or at least large enough based on ATR or something like that? And then can you stay in and hold? Or are you just a fast scalper of initial volatility, right? Whatever style you have developed there. So maybe some things you might want to check. So that's the owl guy. Hi Andy, what's your opinion on self-sufficiency? It's on my mind as I'm planning to switch to trading as my main income next year. Do you think you could survive on your own trading profits without any income from your wife or investments or ever? I think as I'm old school, right? So please don't take that the wrong way, ladies and gentlemen, especially the ladies. I'm old school. I believe that as a man, you have to provide for your family, right? So my wife works, yeah, yes, but that's her choice, and I respect that and I support that. No problem. I'm just in that sense old school. To rely on the support of your partner for a brief period of time, if it's clearly defined and you have a serious conversation about that, why not? But then also clearly define when that time is over and what's your plan B, right? To be on your own, I mean, I was self-employed before, so the thing is, we all are different, right? So I'm an all or nothing guy, you know. I believe that if I did that, FTSE doesn't look good, right? If I did that half-assed or next to a job or whatever, the job would always have priority, right? So only when I feel like I'm back against the wall, that FTSE is coming down rather, right? Oh, look at that. DAX is coming down too. Just filled the gap. Guys, I'm closing my FTSE here. Closed FTSE. That didn't work, didn't it? No. So. Who would have thought, you know, an inside bar on a day where we expect a range-bound behavior, usually we would do the opposite here. You would trade the anti. That might still play out. But so far, selling short here would have been a fantastic idea. That looks like it's going further down. Okay. Shall we take it? What do you say? Let's wait for the close here in the FTSE. DAX is really wouldn't have expect the classic school run to work today. Also, where would it bounce, you know, if you expect it trading back into the range or the anti-working? Certainly yesterday's close is a magnet, can provide support. So maybe we see it now trade back into the range, but that was a good close for the bears here. Huh? Ah, okay. Yeah. Good. Nope, I'm holding off. Seriously, fuck that. I want to piss away profits here. Carlos, show the rule of 4. This is the day that people should know about it. I will do that. Thanks for always being so nice. Am I so nice or haven't given you... Herrick, the developer of the Trade from Chart software, asked me to give a quick shout out, and I will certainly do that. For all Trade from Charts users here, this software here, there will be an update later, since Trade Nation will be updating charts to latest. So older versions will no longer work. So watch out for the Trade from Charts Telegram group. And the new update will include support for the latest version of Chart IQ. This is basically the charting package that Trade Nation uses ahead of Trade Nation's upcoming infrastructure upgrade. It also introduces multi-chart support, initially 2 charts per window only. So does that mean I don't need to do this anymore? Bloody hell, the DAX is selling off. Wow. Herrick says thank you. Okay. Lokendra from India. Thanks for being here, Andy. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to help us. How do you detach yourself from the outcome and commit to the process as real money is on the line? How do you calm the nerves? I trade small and still can't watch the market once I'm in a trade. How can I be more objective with the markets apart from trading small, which I'm already doing? Thanks. Yeah, well, Loki, my friend. You need to be a professional loss taker. You need to develop yourself into a professional loss taker. The sooner you wrap your head around the fact that trading involves losing, and also sometimes losing consecutively, the earlier you will be able to handle that, right? Best loser wins. Maybe this is a good start, right? Per says, Andy, thank you, brother, for all the psychology and honesty. It's good to hear a confirmation of my own experience and fight and learning curve. It is a curious and exciting universe we try to master 40 centimeters from the screen. Yes, best loser wins. I agree, brother. Thanks for that. Super chill. Super chill. Super chill from India. Hi, Andy. Could you please share what worked for you psychology wise? I know it's difficult to pinpoint, but if you could just discuss. Okay, Loki already asked my question on psychology, I think. Now, trading psychology is a large field. And when I say you have to become a professional loss taker, that's not going to help you, right? What is going to help you is to maybe read a little bit about trading psychology. So if you haven't read Tom's book, I would maybe start there. You can read Mark Douglas. You can try the Mark Douglas exercise, the 20 traits. You probably also find an old recording of a Mark Douglas seminar on YouTube. Don't be lazy. I will not find that for you. Find it yourself. You can read the works of Dr. Steve Ward. Dr. Steve Ward, who is working with high stakes traders and high performance hedge fund managers, guys like that, right? So yeah, that might be a start. And since this is very individually, not all the things that worked for me will work for you. But a big part of what I'm doing is, and I have that from Tom, it's also in his book. I have a book of horror, right? It's just a PowerPoint presentation. When I was that on Monday's US session, I was in a Nasdaq trade, and I added to it, and I got out, and then I watched that thing continue further and further and further, and I could have captured maybe double the points or triple the points even. Yeah, and that stuff doesn't sit well with me. So I took a screenshot of that trade. Was writing a lot of annotations, put that into PowerPoint, my book of horrors. And there's a lot of such examples in, and before every trading session, I look at an old example in my book of horrors, or 2 or 3. I pick a random number and remind myself of the guy that I don't want to be anymore, right? And that's a way that helps me. Maybe it's something else for you. So, okay, super chill. Hope that helps. Alessandro, good morning. Andy, first of all, as always, congratulations, everything you do every single day. Thank you very much. I wanted to briefly tell you about my situation. After spending a long time and losing a lot of money trading discretionarily, for the past few weeks, I've been trying to address my issues with oversizing and overtrading by following a simple discretionary strategy. The strategy is to trade the breakout of the first 5-minute candle after the market opens, with the stop loss placed at the high/low of the single candle, and fixed take profits of 40 points on the DAX, 50 points on the Nasdaq, 60 points on the Dow. My feeling is that having clear, predefined rules could really help me overcome my psychological issues. Of course, I know that many times I'll be leaving a lot of money on the table because the market will continue well beyond my fixed take profit target. What do you think about this kind of approach for someone who has consistently lost money trading? Thank you very much for your reply. Big hug, Alessandro. So, first of all, well done. You have shown there's some self-awareness and you have done something about it. So the development of a trader, according to Mark Douglas, I believe, is from mechanical to discretionary and then maybe to intuitive, right? And for a while, just sticking to one setup with predefined entries and exits, right, is exactly or is a hallmark of the Mark Douglas exercise, right? Make it as mechanical as possible, and then you take those 20 trades, yeah. So and the Mark Douglas exercise has helped a lot of traders, generations of traders, I believe. And so it's well worth your while to do that, at least for a while. The problem is, of course, that no mechanical strategy, unfortunately, will work forever. Markets change, market conditions change. And of course, you can do your research, you can backtest and try to adapt. And that's all good and well. And the DAX and the FTSE are really teasing me to take short positions right now. Oh, you said something now. I forgot. If I took a loss on the first trade, I enter with double size on the reversal. I backtested it and it works. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, brother. No, don't do that. Don't double up because you lost. It's very, very bad. It's very, very bad. Don't do that. Guys, just for information for myself, let me switch that on. Just clicked sell in the DAX and in the FTSE. Seems to be a sell-off going on here. I don't want to miss that. Yeah, no, doesn't matter if it works and if it's a lot of charts. It's about the principle, Alexandro. So why don't you trade double that size to begin with? No, don't double up after a loss. It's not good risk management. I would really encourage you not doing that. So, There you go, Andre. Hi, Andy. What is the dollar? What's the dollar? Doesn't show. So, brother, you mean this here, right? Transaction history does not show on my TFC chart. Andre, have you read the manual? Huh? Have you read the manual? So, you've lost sound again. I don't believe I have. Do I have still sound? 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 Nope, I still have sound. So, Andy, I've been trying to chat and ask questions using the email, but like a dope, I've just found this chat option. Question is, does this chat work? Nick, my friend, this is time now to switch on the FAQs for newbies. So, ladies and gentlemen, just watch what I'm about to post now. There you go. All right. Read. Those are the 4 questions that I get asked all the time and I have answered over and over and over again. So I made this mini FAQ. Kind of look at it. Just, there is no chat. There is no chat, brother. There is no chat. So, more questions. More questions. Telegram sound is working. Okay. Hi, Andy. I feel much more sniper. Hi, Andy. I feel much more confident when I trade with your guidance. It's like having a teacher in the classroom explaining every step and showing me how to make better trading decisions. Your explanations make the learning process clear, and I generally like I'm improving with every trade. Oh, that's a great compliment. Thank you very much. So, Chris, he asked yesterday whether I swing trade, and today he says thank you for yesterday's in detail answer. I'm 33, have 2 kids, and a full-time job. Normally, I have 2 days off. I have 2 days home office per week, and I'm looking for a way to gradually make it in trading. I can't be around consistently around the open or monitor a 5-minute chart for hours. I dig deeper into the idea of trading the daily or 4-hour, 1-hour chart. It is obvious that this requires a larger stop, and therefore the movement must be larger to profit from. The cost of holding for several days eats up a lot. How are your thoughts on this, and what would be your approach to this situation? Trade futures, brother, or an ETF or whatever. If you want to, for example, this is a very good example, is if you want to sell the double top here on the daily chart here, right? So you come from your job at, I don't know, at 5 a.m. or at 6 p.m., you know, and the FTSE trades around here at 8:30. Well, okay, see. Then you peacefully sell short the FTSE, put a stop above here, and then just wait for your profits or getting stopped out. And tomorrow you check again at 6, right? So that's how I would do it. With futures, you don't pay overnight fees, right? So if you're a swing trader, you might look into trading futures. Or since we're trading stock indices here, there's maybe an ETF that you can use. But I don't know how it is with leveraged ETFs or any other instruments. I would simply probably trade futures. So, greetings from Regensburg. You're not so far away, brother. Greetings back. So, Bostian says, hi Andy, great work on your side as always. Just wanted to forward this. Is it the EU session from the 15th of April 26? It is the EU session from the 15th of April 26. Your premiere on this channel and the first mention of espresso trading approach. All the best. Okay. So if you want to find the espresso video where I explain the espresso, go to Tom's YouTube, find my first appearance, and that was, according to Bostian here, on the 15th of April 2026. Paul, rational, want to analyze how big the tooth is, so needed to get closer. I know what you're talking about, Paul. Really don't. If you want to take a short position in the DAX and in the FTSE, do that. You now get a better entry than me, but I'm not officially doing that here because I might not be able to manage that, and also there's the probability of getting chopped up here. That's just me selling weakness. That's really it. It just looks weak, man. And surprisingly so. Was really surprised. It's a bear surprise. I'm very late to the party, right? So, FTSE position is slightly underwater. I will sell short again, directly below here on a first bar positive signal. DAX is now slightly in positive. So, Paul, joke, as you were talking about saber-tooth tiger and reptile. Okay, that was, you wrote that at an hour earlier. All right. So, here is someone from South Korea. Hi, Andy. Hope you're doing well. The Korean market has been usually volatile recently. The semiconductor sector seems to be driving most of the moves. In conditions like this, do you adjust anything in your approach? I'm mainly wondering whether high volatility changes how you treat your key levels, or whether you simply size down and wait for cleaner setups. Any thoughts would be much appreciated. Usually, the European indices in August are, bloody hell, adding to my DAX. They're usually in summer mode. They're very slow, volatility very low. But I like when there's volatility. So yeah, I would probably just adjust my. I probably would need larger stops, right? If you place stops based on structure and you feel like the bars are longer now. Yep. So. Hi Andy, can you check our last day close on DAX is accurate on chart? Because it looks like to me line is not on 4:30 p.m. time. Hey, profit specialist. This is a CFD chart. So the close is never on don't want to trade without you guys. Sorry. So closing that now. The close price line is never exactly on the close of the candle that concludes when the session is over. This because there's in the DAX that's called the cash session. CFD prices and cash prices are equivalent, but there is some discrepancies with the closing price. That's why you always go to Deutsche Börse website or to CNBC or whatever, to any reputable source, and look at the official closing price. The software does that for you, and if it's a couple points off to what you see on the chart, that's exactly why you should use the official source, because price will react to that. So Jürgen says, Servus Andi, futures is a bad idea to hold overnight because you're in full risk. With futures, you're also subject to margin calls. Unlike with CFDs, that means your account is empty. You have to make an additional payment. Think about the market opens with a 200-point gap with €5 a point. You're in a huge drawdown immediately. Think about a black swan and 1,000 points. Would never hold futures contracts overnight. Yeah, well, there's a couple of points I want to make. So a margin call simply means you don't have enough money in your account to meet margin requirements. So on CFDs, you can very well receive a margin call, Jürgen, right? However, and that's also not true for all CFD brokers. You know why CFDs are banned in the US? Because you can, or yeah, historically you could have ended up owing the broker money. Yeah. So nowadays, I don't know if there's still some shady brokers out there who don't offer that, but certainly reputable brokers and Trade Nation, they offer negative balance protection. So that means should your position go into negative, and as your position goes into negative, your account size also does, right? So that means your account size goes down, even though you don't close yet, right? And that impacts your ability to open new positions, or even to keep the existing one open. So if it falls, if it goes down enough, the broker might forcibly close that position. So when you hold something overnight, there's always a risk, right? It's very thinly. Wow, both markets are selling off right now. Sorry guys, that I was holding off on that. Just didn't expect that. I'm very much surprised. Anyway, but you know, that's. But is that really an issue on a let's say on a daily chart, right? Or on a 4-hour chart. There are some days where you get exceptionally wide ranges, and yeah, well, I think that's the risk of doing business, brother. Yeah, if you trade on a 5-minute chart and hold something overnight, your stop is likely a stop appropriate for a 5-minute chart, and you can run into issues like that. I'm trying to close out everything intraday. I rarely hold something. Not even for that reason. I just like to have a fresh tally at the end of the day. Anyway, So Chris says, if you are with Bahamas Trade Nation, then there is no negative balance protection. I tested it with small account and it can go negative. What I mean, they have now two tiers of accounts: professional, which is in Bahamas with 200 leverage, and retail, which has 30 leverage. And the second one has protection. No, brother, you are very misinformed here. Just because the thing is, if you want high leverage, you have to look outside of Europe, because within Europe, leverage is capped to 30 to 1, right? If you want to have higher leverage, you have to look outside. So Bahamas is something that can offer you that, but depends also where you live. If your broker may offer you that. So depending on where you live, you might not even get that offered by your broker. But that's the thing. So you're mixing up a couple of things here. So regulatory oversight is probably what you mean, not negative balance protection. So a lot of people have the requirement when they're looking for a broker that they want to have a tier 1 regulated broker. So the regulator being the FCA or something like that, However, that doesn't mean that in the Bahamas there is no regulatory oversight. Yeah, there's the SCB. Yeah? Are they as strict as a tier 1 regulator in Europe or in the US? Probably not, but that doesn't mean that there is no regulatory oversight. However, the broker is a UK broker, right? The headquarters is in London, Trade Nation. Your funds, they're not in the Bahamas somewhere. They're with Barclays Bank, right? So, and so let me double check. Let me double check, because also I have been moved. No, I haven't been moved. I was asked whether I want to be moved to but here you go, brother. There you have it. Trade Nation's website, their FAQ, is negative balance protection available? Yes, we do offer negative balance protection in many jurisdictions, including Europe, the UK, Australia. These safeguards are regulatory requirements for retail clients. Choosing a regulatory rules of protection. Trade Nation goes a step further by offering clients who signed up through Seychelles the same negative balance as the other regulated entities. Those clients who signed up through Bahamas, the negative balance protection is mandated in the securities industry rules. So there you have it. You have said something that is not quite correct. You've probably mixed something up here. Negative balance protection and regulatory oversight. So that's probably what you did, bro. Yeah. Here we go. Whoa. There's the bounce. Here we're going to previous session low now. Okay. Interesting. Hi Andy, no, Europe offers you high leverage. I have 501 in UK. No, Ali, Europe has capped leverage to 30 to 1. Your broker might have an entity outside of Europe, like the Bahamas, to offer you high leverage. So it doesn't mean that as a European you don't have access to high leverage, right? He's always calling me lately. Oh, Tom. Well, I will mute myself and take that. Yes, I'm still streaming, Tom.
Possible. They're very serious.
So, Tom just told me a joke here, and he asked Alexa to tell a joke about Germans, and Alexa said, "It's impossible. They're very serious persons." There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, I didn't know you were still. I thought I was being funny.
You're very funny, and we already made some profits here. So I'm just taking a couple more questions and wrap that up.
All right. Well, in case tell my friends and colleagues that I miss them, but I don't miss them that much. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye. So, I don't know if you heard that. I put Tom on speaker. I should tell you that he misses you very much, but not that much. He's probably happy to have a couple days off. I don't. Yeah. So. Lokendra. In continuation, my earlier question, I've read Best Loser Wins, Trading in the Zone, and every Market Wizard books multiple times. I still revisit them regularly and even listen to one of them every day while working out. Intellectually, I understand the concepts, but when it's time to trade, I still struggle to put them into practice. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Only through conscious and deliberate practice we can modify our behavior, right, Lokendra? So it's not enough to intellectually understand something and says, yeah, that sounds great. The question is, what are you going to do to exactly to change that behavior? And what have you tried, right? So, and instead of listening to that same stuff over and over again, maybe think of what you can do, all right, to actually change that behavior. Yeah? So because practice, as Tom said, doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. You have to only through conscious and deliberate practice you can change. And changing stuff like really changing, losing weight, stop smoking, stop whatever is you're doing wrong here with trading, stopping to take profits early, whatever. That requires a lot of hard work. So the question is, what are you doing? And is it working? And the growth lies in the work that you're avoiding, right? So there you go. Ben, good morning, Andy. Is my understanding correct that FOMC impact will be felt more on DAX FTSE tomorrow since London will be closed by then? Is London closed tomorrow? What? So tomorrow the DAX is open. Yeah. So, and looks like the FTSE is closed on the 31st of August, but not tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is the 30th of July. So if that is, okay, it's from the London Stock Exchange, just double check. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know what you mean. London will be closed by then. Ah, okay. You mean, okay. You mean there's the FOMC release, while the DAX and the FTSE is closed. Why do you say London? The DAX is the stronger index. The DAX is representing the German economy, which is of course more important. Why you talk about London? Look at where the FTSE trades, that tiny index here at 10,000. You know, the DAX is more important. It trades at 25,000. Why do you say when London is closed? Right? You know, and that's not the London Open, that's the Frankfurt Open, if anything. Yeah. My answer to that, don't be lazy. Look at Ben. If you're listening to that, you asked that an hour ago. If you're still listening, look at historic charts. There are your answers, right? Don't be lazy. Go to the Federal Reserve Bank's website, or wherever you need to go. Find the schedule for the FOMC releases. Press conference, as always, 2 dates, consecutive dates. You want to look at the latter. Then take whatever charting package of your choice and find those days there, right? Yeah. And then see what happens, right? Flip over to the next day and look what the DAX is doing. And if you insist, look what the FTSE is doing, even though it's less important than the DAX. So why don't you do that? Don't treat me as a database here. So, Andy. Okay, do you think that the general choir of journal everyday analysis the shit out of it and trying to fit a hard system on the market with strict RR, etc. is completely overrated versus actively trading, understanding situations, adapt to them and knowing where you need to get better, for example, holding longer. By this I mean you follow what you think about the market, and with time, experience really plays a role in my experience to get... Brother, why don't you use interpuncture? It's really hard to read. With strict money management, find your weaknesses, hold longer with... Why are you so lazy? Why can't you just write full sentences, use proper interpunction? My God, make a full stop sometimes. This is hard to read, guys. I mean, seriously, look at that. Okay. So, let's do something different. ChatGPT. This gent is writing without interpunction. What did he say? So, okay. He's asking, do you think detailed trade journaling, overanalyzing every trade and forcing the market into a rigid system with strict risk to reward rules is overrated? Would it be better to trade actively based on experience and an understanding of the current situation while using strict money management and working on specific weaknesses? For example, learning to hold winners longer instead of documenting and analyzing every tiny detail. In short, is focused self-improvement more useful than obsessive journaling and rigid rules? The thought is reasonable. His punctuation has simply gone into hiding. There you go. No worries, mate. I just think what you say has some merit, but journaling, I would not sign off on that, because whatever your issue is, that you will see that in your old trades. So the answer is always in your old trades. So if at the very least you should do something like this here, right? So right, and then also this, for example, is a good reminder. I would probably screenshot this here, and I would probably also leave the school run sell short line here, maybe highlight that, and see how much was in there. And also here, I clicked here the sell short button because it was really weak, and I said I won't take it with you, but my analysis for today showed it can be choppy. Don't want that you get stopped out here or anything. But here, the distance between that line and that entry is profits I have missed out on. Also, it's an example that everything can happen, right? So on a day where you expect chop, 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 no, we get a clean push down. Maybe we even get a second leg down, right? So nobody knows what's going to happen. And if you don't record this, you will never know what your flaws are in trading. I don't know if I find a flaw in my trading today. We made money here together. I think it was also not really try to buy here a second touch. Wow, first bar positive, sell short would have worked. Okay. I expected chop. There is no chop, ladies and gentlemen, so far. Yeah, only then you get better, right? So, and only then you find out what your flaws are. For example, that you don't hold long enough, that you're too hesitant to get in. Usually I'm too trigger happy, but whatever it is, those are your flaws. They are in your old trades. That's why you should journal, and then you can work on these flaws. And probably you know enough technical analysis. Unless you don't, then you really should study that first, of course, if you're a complete beginner. But by just learning more about entry techniques and more back testing and all of that, you will probably. It's not nothing wrong with that, but your growth is in other things, right? If you look at your trade history, and you can just say, okay, I have been in moves often enough. Okay, but how much did I capture? Why did I get out? Right? So, and if you can't answer that other than, yeah, I was fearful that my position turns into negative, or whatever the reason is, or my system told me so, yeah, then there you have an opportunity to grow, and you try to hold longer the next time, right? And maybe Tom's antidote is very drastic. So instead of closing or taking partials or half profits or whatever, add instead, and adding as an antidote to that early profit taking. So whatever it is, right? So Okay. Johann. RTFM bitte. Extend the FAQ link to trade from chat group, support and manual. I still believe that people can figure that out, because if Johann, if in the FAQ there is a link to the trade from chart Telegram group, and in that Telegram group there is a pinned message, right? And also here is in that software itself, it's an online manual link, you know. It's guys, I always think discipline is what makes you successful in trading, and I always say if it was discipline, then every gym bro would be rich. But not only are you wrong about that, you don't even show the tiniest bit of discipline by just reading the manual. Orin, nice to hear you're in Czech. I'm from there too, Moravia. Oh yeah. Hello, brother. Savan, loving all the insights, brother, especially the tiger story. Great that you share your experience in sometimes scary, lonely trading jungle. Very well said. James. Hi, Andy. I was trading Asian sessions this morning. I was adding to my losers when the market turned down, but eventually they turned back. I know I'm not supposed to add to my loser, but my justification was the market was down so much already. It was due for a rebound, but I got in too early. I guess I was lucky this time. If I keep going down, it would be a huge loss for me. Some of my big win were from adding to losing positions. Somehow market turned around, so I got this bad habit of adding to loser rather than winner. Is there any way I can prevent that from happening? Thank you. Yeah, just don't do it. Don't be that guy who adds to losing trades. What you're basically saying, James, is that you're long, right? You buy at 100, and then the market turns 80, and then you think like, oh, it would, if it was good to buy at 100, certainly it's good to buy at 80, and then it goes 50, and then you think, my God, it's now even, it looks even better at 50, right? That's supermarket mentality. Yeah? Also, what you think, it was time for a rebound. How do you know that? What if it breaks further, right? Think of it, because if you could predict that, why don't you trade that instead? Huh? You just had the hope that the price of that index is so cheap now that eventually buyers must step in, and since you have averaged in so much that you get out for a scratch. That was your hope. But what if the opposite happened? What if it just went down, right? Here in the FTSE. Imagine here, I bought up here, not proud of it, but I had a good reasons to. And then what did I do? I stopped myself out. I took my loss earlier. Instead of 25 points, I got out for minus 17, right? So imagine I would just buy more here and buy more here and buy more here and buy more here and hope that it must rebound at one point, right? It's so cheap now. Buyers must be stepping in, and then to hope that that I can get out here maybe for break even, right? Because I added so much on the way down. That's not cool. Imagine you're in this move here, right? In the DAX, maybe if you added enough here, but in the FTSE, you can see that right now. Not cherry picking here. This can happen. It can go further down. Guess what? The next is the gap close. And if that yesterday's close, if that given support, we might get down here to the overnight low, right? So, and then we might go to the previous session low. Look how far that is away. It's a very dangerous game. So why would I advocate adding to winners? Because you don't know what's going to happen, right? I expected chop, and guess what? FTSE is selling off. DAX came down. Okay, now it's pulling back a little, but came down. Classic school run even would have worked, at least for 2 juicy bear bars here. We could have moved stop loss to break even and would still be in profit, right? So anything can happen. But when you're already in profit, then you have confirmation, right? So the market gives you confirmation that at least up till this point where you're adding, you were right. That still can turn. And then you have to think about what you're doing. Do you close an add-on? Do you protect your position by moving stop loss down? Whatever is, you got to do what you got to do in that situation. It's still very dangerous, right? But at least it goes in your favor, mate, right? At least you have some confirmation. You have to manage uncertainty. What more certainty can the market give you that you're already in profit, you're already on the right side? So far, nobody knows what's going to happen further, but so far you're right. So rather add to your winners. That's all I can say. Brother Andy, it's been a pleasure to hear you while trading. Thanks for the big hug. Yeah, but not in a gay way, brother. Not in a gay way. Don't know why guys say that. AG, no, my suggestion is not to take the reversal with the same size and try to reduce the loss. My suggestion is not trying to reduce the loss at all. My suggestion is take a loss. God damn it. Learn how to lose. You need to lose. You don't need to make the money back immediately. Like, look what you guys are writing me. One guy gets stopped out, and then he takes the opposite side of the trade on a 5-minute breakout, first 5-minute buy in the session, in double the size, right? You are averaging in, hoping for a rebound, and now you're telling me, okay, so I take the reversal and try to reduce the loss. No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you should learn to take losses. You know, you were wrong, right? So and so far, what did the market prove you? Not that it's going to reverse, it's going that you were wrong. So maybe flip your bias. Maybe instead of being long, maybe you should sell short or sit on your hand and wait for a better opportunity, right? So, but not just immediately flip, unless it's really, you have very good reason to believe that it's reversing. But you know, markets have inertia. They used to continue doing what they're doing, right? So never add to losers. Not under my watch, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Andy, you're having too much on this channel. We might have to charging you for the stage. All right. Shall I put a contribution link? You can send me money. Fun, of course. So the owl guy got 2 of those short legs, but missed the big one. Yeah, can happen. Tell Tom he's a nasty pasty. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. We've been streaming for 2 hours. It was a pleasure being with you, trading with you. Thanks for listening. If you want, I'm back here for the session.